Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. In today's episode, Mai visits Alex during TET to apologize once more and share a quiet warning. Dwey has been asking strange questions about Alex and Tuna. Alex keeps his calm, but he doesn't ignore the signs. When Tuna arrives with Henry, they choose steadiness over fear, and Alex personally drives them home, reminding her to lock up carefully before he returns to his own house, with a restless worry he can't fully shake. If you enjoy healing slice-of-life stories with a slow-building shadow, don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin. Mai arrived at Alex's house on a quiet TET afternoon, when the sunlight was soft and the street outside sounded slower than usual. There was no honking, no rush, just the faint voices of neighbors greeting one another in the distance. Alex opened the door after a gentle knock and found her standing with a small gift bag in both hands. Posture careful, expression serious. "Happy New Year," Mai said first. Her voice was steady, not bright, like she didn't want to take up more space than necessary. "Happy New Year," Alex replied. He stepped aside to let her in, not cold, just measured. "Come in." Mai removed her shoes neatly and walked in with that quiet respect people use when they're visiting during TET. She didn't look around like she was curious. She looked around like she was making sure she didn't disturb anything. Alex gestured toward the table. There were simple snacks set out and a kettle still warm, the kind of ordinary comfort a house keeps during the holiday. Mai placed her gift bag on the table. Inside were fruit and a small box of sweets. Nothing expensive, nothing showy. "I brought something small," she said, "just to chew TET properly." Alex nodded. "Thank you." A short silence settled. It wasn't awkward, but it was heavy with meaning. Mai sat with her hands folded, eyes lowered for a moment, as if she was organizing her courage. Alex poured tea into 2 cups and set one in front of her. He didn't speak first. He let her decide why she came. Mai finally looked up. "I'm sorry to come like this," she said quietly, "but I wanted to say it again, in person." Alex's face stayed calm. "Say what you need to say." Mai took a slow breath. "I know I already apologized before," she said, "but I've been thinking about it, and I realized an apology isn't something you say once and then forget. It's something you carry correctly." Alex listened without interrupting. He didn't encourage her, but he didn't shut her down either. His stillness was the kind that let the truth arrive without being forced. Mai continued, careful with her words. "I'm sorry for the trouble I caused, for the stress, for the confusion. I know it wasn't fair, and I know it wasn't respectful to you or to the life you're building." Alex's eyes stayed on her, steady. "I hear you." Mai's throat moved as she swallowed. "I'm not here to explain," she added quickly. "I'm not here to ask you to forgive me on the spot. I just want you to know I'm serious about not repeating any of it." Alex nodded once. "That's important." Mai looked relieved by the simple response, as if she had feared a harsher conversation. "I've been trying to live differently," she said. "Quietly, doing my work, keeping my distance, not inserting myself where I don't belong." Alex's voice stayed even. "That's the right direction." Mai's fingers tightened slightly around her teacup. "And I want you to be clear," she said. "I respect your relationship. I respect Tuna. I respect your family. I'm not coming to disturb that." Alex didn't soften dramatically, but his gaze warmed by a fraction. "Good, because that's the only thing I'm protecting now." Mai nodded. "I understand." They sat for a moment with the tea between them. The house was quiet enough that Alex could hear the kettle clicking softly as it cooled. Outside, a motorbike passed. Then the street returned to stillness. Mai turned her cup once, then said, "There's another reason I came." Alex's posture didn't change, but his attention sharpened. "Go on." Mai spoke carefully. "Recently, Dwey asked me about you." Alex's eyes stayed steady. He didn't react with surprise, only with alertness. "When?" A few days ago, Mai said. Not directly. He started with small talk, like it meant nothing. Then he asked if you were doing well, if your family was okay, if you and Tuna were still living quietly. Alex didn't interrupt. He let her finish. I asked him why he wanted to know, Mai continued. He didn't give a clear answer. He just said he didn't know how your family was now. Like he was curious. Alex's voice stayed low. And you felt that was strange. Mai nodded quickly. Yes, because it didn't feel like real concern. It felt like someone checking a door. Alex set his cup down. What else did he say? Not much, Mai admitted. He avoided details. He smiled a little and said, I don't know anything, I'm just asking. But the way he asked made me uneasy. Alex held her gaze. Why tell me now? Mai's expression tightened. Because I don't want to be silent when something feels wrong, she said. I'm not proud of my past choices, but I can choose now to warn you when I notice something. Alex nodded slowly. I appreciate that. Mai took another breath. And there's more, she added. He looked like he's struggling, not physically, but the way people look when they don't have stability. He asked about work, about money, in a roundabout way. He didn't say he was desperate, but I could feel it. Alex didn't answer immediately. He seemed to be measuring the information, placing it in the right mental file. Mai leaned forward slightly. I'm not saying he will do something, she said. But when someone is short on money, they can do things that don't match their words, things you can't predict. Alex's voice stayed calm. So you think I should be careful? Yes, Mai said, firm now. Be careful. Not frightened, just careful. Alex looked down for a moment, then back up. I'm always careful, he said, but I'll increase it. Mai's shoulders eased, like she had accomplished what she came to do. That's all I wanted, she said, to make sure you know. Alex nodded once. Thank you for telling me. Mai stood slowly, not lingering. I'll go, she said. I won't take more of your time. Alex walked her to the door. At the threshold, Mai paused and bowed her head slightly. Happy New Year, she said again, softer. Alex answered with steady courtesy. Happy New Year, take care. Mai stepped out into the sunlight and walked away without looking back. Alex watched until she reached the road, then closed the door gently. He didn't move right away. He stood still for a few seconds, letting the quiet return, letting the warning settle, and deciding what careful would mean in practice. Starting today, quietly. When the door closed behind Mai, the house became quiet again. But the quiet felt different. Not empty, alert. Alex stood still for a moment, listening to the holiday street settle back into slow footsteps and distant greetings. He carried the small gift bag Mai had left to the side of the table and placed it neatly among the sweets, as if order could keep the air clean. He rinsed the teacups, set them upside down, and wiped the table where Mai's hands had rested. Small tasks steadied him. The kettle clicked as it cooled. Outside, a motorbike passed, then the sound faded. A soft knock came at the door, 2 taps and a pause. Alex opened it and found Tuna standing there with Henry bundled against her chest. She held a small food container in one hand, scarf wrapped neatly, face calm in that quiet way she had learned to protect. Happy New Year, Tuna said. Happy New Year, Alex replied, stepping aside. Come in. Henry's eyes were half open, sleepy but curious. He blinked at Alex's face, then tucked his cheek into Tuna's scarf. Tuna set the container on the table and adjusted Henry's blanket. I brought something warm, she said, just in case you didn't eat. Alex's gaze softened. Thank you. Tuna noticed the extra bag of gifts, but she didn't point at it like a question. She simply asked gently, Someone visited? Mai came to Chuktet, Alex said evenly. Tuna nodded once. Okay, are you all right? I'm fine, Alex answered, and he meant it in the way he always meant it. Controlled, steady, not dramatic. Tuna didn't press. She moved with quiet practicality, warming water, setting Henry's things within reach, keeping the room calm. Alex warmed the food she brought and ate a few bites while she rocked Henry. The house sounded normal again. A spoon against a bowl, soft fabric shifting, a baby's small sigh. After Henry settled, Alex spoke. "Mai said something I should tell you, not to make you worry, just to keep you with me." Tuna lifted her eyes. "Okay." Alex chose his words carefully. "She said Dwey asked about me, about you, about our situation." Tuna's fingers tightened once on Henry's blanket, then relaxed. "What kind of asking?" "Not direct," Alex said. "More like checking. She said it felt strange, and she thinks he's short of money." Tuna took a slow breath. She didn't panic. She didn't pretend it was nothing either. "Then we stay careful," she said simply. Alex's shoulders eased a fraction. "That's what I thought." Tuna looked at him with steady eyes. "What do you want to do?" Alex appreciated the question. Not fear, not control, partnership. "Small rule," Money said. "We don't respond to unverified calls about work. We keep routines predictable, and we don't go out alone late." Tuna nodded. "And you tell Lon to keep everything through verified channels." "I will," Alex said. Tuna's voice stayed calm. "And you tell me if something feels off, not after it becomes heavy." Alex nodded once. "Okay." They sat in a brief silence, Henry's breathing soft between them. Tuna's calm didn't erase the warning, but it kept the warning from turning into chaos. Alex finally stood. "I'll drive you home," he said. "It's better." Tuna hesitated. "It's not far." "I know," Alex replied. "Still?" She didn't argue. She gathered Henry's bag and wrapped him a little tighter. Alex carried the food container back to the kitchen and rinsed it quickly so she wouldn't have to. Then he took the gifts Tuna had brought earlier and placed them neatly beside Mai's bag, keeping everything orderly. In the car, Henry fell asleep again almost immediately, as if motion was his safest lullaby. Tuna watched the streetlights slide past and touched the leaf charm on her wrist. Not for luck, but for grounding. Alex drove with steady focus. He didn't speak much. His mind was working, testing the edges of what Mai had said, measuring risk without feeding it. He kept his breathing calm so Tuna wouldn't feel him tightening. When they reached Tuna's place, Alex parked close and stepped out first. He opened the door for Tuna and helped her with Henry's bag. The yard was quiet, the air cool, the house dark except for a soft light inside. Tuna held Henry close and whispered, "We're home." Alex walked her to the door and waited while she unlocked it. His voice stayed low. "Lock everything after I leave. Gate, door, window latch. Don't leave the yard open even for a minute." Tuna nodded, not offended, not frightened. "I will. And if anyone comes asking questions," Alex added, "you don't answer at the gate. You call me." Tuna met his eyes. "Okay." She stepped inside, laid Henry down gently, and returned to the doorway. "Drive safely," she said. Alex nodded. "Text me when you're locked in." "I will," Tuna replied. Alex waited until she closed the door, and he heard the lock click. Only then did he turn back to his car. He sat behind the wheel for a second, hands resting on it, feeling a faint, restless energy under his ribs. On the drive back to his own place, the holiday street looked harmless. Red decorations, warm windows, people laughing somewhere far away. But Alex's mind kept circling one thought. When someone is unstable, they can do unpredictable things. He parked at home and walked inside, moving quietly as if noise might invite trouble. He took off his jacket, hung it, and listened for a minute to the ordinary sounds of the house. Nothing. That silence made his thoughts louder, so he forced himself to breathe, slow and even, until his pulse matched it. The rooms were warm, familiar, and yet his chest felt slightly tight. Not fear, watchfulness, a low, stubborn unease he couldn't shake. Alex washed his hands, checked his phone once, then set it down. He didn't want to spend the night staring at a screen. He wanted to think clearly. He sent Lan a short message. Verify everything, no shortcuts, keep records clean. Then he put the phone away again. He stood by the window for a moment, looking out at the quiet street, and exhaled slowly. The new year was supposed to begin with good words and sweet taste. He would keep that, but he would also keep his eyes open, because now he had something real to protect.
Mai đến nhà Alex vào một buổi chiều Tết yên tĩnh với một món quà nhỏ, thành tâm xin lỗi một lần nữa và khẳng định cô không đến đây để làm phiền cuộc sống của anh, chỉ để sửa chữa những sai lầm trong quá khứ một cách trung thực. Trước khi rời đi, cô đề cập đến một điều khiến Alex cảm thấy không ổn. Duy gần đây đã hỏi han về tình hình của Alex và Tuna một cách kiểm tra, và Mai nghi ngờ anh ta có thể đang thiếu tiền và khó đoán. Sau đó Tuna đến cùng Henry và mang theo đồ ăn nóng, giữ cho bầu không khí nhẹ nhàng và thực tế. Alex chia sẻ lời cảnh báo mà không làm cô lo lắng, và họ đồng ý cẩn thận với những quy tắc đơn giản: xác minh tin nhắn công việc, tránh đi ra ngoài một mình vào đêm khuya và luôn cảnh giác. Sau đó Alex lái xe đưa Tuna và Henry về nhà, nhắc cô khóa cổng và cửa cẩn thận và yêu cầu cô nhắn tin lại khi đã vào nhà an toàn. Trở về nhà mình, Alex cảm thấy bất an và cảnh giác, lặng lẽ nhắn tin cho Lan để siết chặt việc xác minh và giữ gìn hồ sơ sạch sẽ, quyết tâm bảo vệ sự bình yên mà họ đã xây dựng.